Here we are in Rosedale Abbey, and we're just going to be doing the walk from the centre of the village to Heather the Hut. So our starting point here is Abbey Stores, centre of the village. It is an absolutely wonderful day. There's lots of people in the village, lots of people coming out on the motorbikes, the cars. On board we have Lucas the dog. Say hello, Lucas. We also have Daisy. Hello, Daisy. Okay, let's start. So we'll come out of the shop and turn left with the traffic, with the island of grass on the right hand side and the old post office on your left hand side. So we'll be following the road around past the opening of the caravan park. Here we are. It's a lovely spring day in the North York Moors today. Start of what is hopefully going to be a busy season at Heather the Hut. Was it?
Yeah.
You might have to give him a tug. So here we are on the right at the entrance to Rosedale Abbey Caravan Park. On the left, the signpost saying right for Thorgill, left for Castleton, 10 miles, and left for the toilets. So here we're going to be turning right and going in that direction, passing the Coach House Inn on our left. So we'll be going just down the road, slightly towards the Coach House. This is the Coach House Inn, a place that we recommend that you eat at during your stay at Heather the Hut. Wonderful day. Are they looking for the golf course?
Yeah, I'll walk up the hill,
Oh,
up
right.
a big hill, and I'm like, well, you can't get any help bigger than that.
No, not there.
Yeah.
That's the way to Chimney Bank, one of the steepest hills in the UK.
Yeah.
1 in 3. Thankfully, we won't be walking up that one today.
Yeah.
So, continue onwards.
Yeah.
When we came past the Coach House visit was the Coach House Inn was quite busy with drinkers. So People sat out enjoying the spring sunshine. Some enjoying it in other ways. So we walked down the main road. This is the road past, this is the main road to Pickering. And so we passed the Caravan and Motorhome Club on our right hand side. There's only a short amount of walking to do on the road, and so yeah, it can be quite busy during peak periods, weekends, school holidays and summertime with traffic, as Rosedale Abbey is quite a busy place, but it's only, as I say, a short distance along the road. Just keep away from traffic. So what we're going to do is here, just coming up, there's a left-hand turn onto a farm track. So we'll be turning left and following the driveway up to this farm here that you can see on your left. So the idea is that Heather the Hut is situated over in that direction. So we're going to go up, across the moor, up the side of the valley, into that clump of trees over there, and then just beyond that is where Heather the Hut is situated. So someone's got the fire on. Short walk along the road, single file. Give us a wave, Daisy. Hey. So I'll have a look behind us. Is there any traffic? No traffic. So turn left here into the farmyard. There's a sign on that fence which says Abbey Farm Cottage and Robin's Rest. A bit of advertising. Robin's Rest is another shepherd's hut in Rosedale Abbey. It's to say competition for Heather the Hut, but we've actually got a good understanding. So if I'm busy, I recommend I can put people in touch with the Robin's Rest. If they're busy, they put people in touch with Heather the Hut. So you see, we're all quite keen to work together to promote this tourism to the area. It's not really about being in competition. It's working together and bringing people to the area and letting them see for themselves just how gorgeous this place is. And especially on a sunny day like today, just start of spring, so there's a bit of a chill in the air, but there's bright blue skies, and you soon warm up on the walk up to Heather the Hut. So we're approximately 10 minutes in. At a sort of steady pace, it'll probably take you about 45 minutes to get to the hut. This is the way that you'd come if you coming down to the village for something to eat. So through the farmyard, and then just beyond this horse box there's a wooden fence and signposted across the field to the right. So we'll go through the gate if we can. See the signpost here saying footpath. There's a sign on this gate that says, "Is your dog on the lead?" So if guests are bringing dogs to Heather the Hut. Strongly ask them, request that wherever possible they keep the dog on the lead, because this is a working rural area and livestock are the livestock are the industry of people, so we don't want them being oh, there we go, there's a deer up there. Don't know if you can see that, just up by
There's a hare there, look.
the
You see it?
hedge. There's a what? Oh,
hare.
yeah. There's a big hare here as well.
Look at it, yeah?
That's
There's
a
hare.
massive hare. See if we can
A
zoom
deer
in on
and
it.
a hare.
Maybe we're a bit too
Lucas.
far away. Has the heather gone? Sorry, has the deer gone?
No, it's there, look, the deer.
Not quite.
Can you see it?
It's
See
just
its tail.
up against a fence, so you can't quite see it on the at this angle, but it's just up there. So we're just going to be responsible dog owners and clear up after the dog.
Enormous.
And yeah, it's a quite a substantial deposit that Lucas the dog has left us, so we'll do our best to tidy it up. So I shan't really show you what is involved because this view is much nicer. So here we are. This is the whole valley of Rosedale. That's where we've just come from. That's the other side of the valley. That's the west side. I don't know if you can see up there, but we've got the chimney bank, which is that long uphill road that we have been talking about earlier, and that's the start of the valley. So if you're coming by car, you'd come down that road that we've just walked down, from what we call the main road from Pickering, which I guess is what most guests would be coming from. So we're heading up that way to another wooden gate. So as you can see, we're heading uphill now. So up the valley side. Is everything okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I suppose we could pop that by that gate and then come back for it when we finished. I don't mind doing that. There we go. It's a bit of a marked path, so you can see people use it. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's not just Daisy.
Oh, look at the view behind us.
Let's have a look at the view behind us. We'll be looking into the sunshine, but there you go. That's what a stay in Heather the Hut is all about. Splendid seclusion, and really you can't get more secluded than this. Some of the finest scenery in the British Isles on your doorstep, just ripe for exploration. Walking is good for your mental health. It has proven benefits. So get out there come rain, come shine, come snow, get your boots on, put your coat on, and just breathe the fresh air, enjoy, and drink in the whole environment. You can hear the spring lambs. Okay, so here we are. Got to another wooden gate. We're heading towards a farm. Go through the gate. Across a bit of a wooden, thank you. Across a bit of a wooden boardwalk. That's alright, thank you. Following a path between two fences, heading towards this farmyard over here. So are you having a good walk so far?
I am, yeah.
Good. It is a really nice walk.
Lovely.
And I mean, some guests will come down in their car because it only takes just 5 minutes in the car. But I think others will actually walk because they want to have a bit of exercise. So it's the whole point behind this video, really, is showing guests how to get up there on foot. And this is a route that I've devised myself. Once I'd had Heather the Hut situated, I obviously had to look at the map and look at the best way to get to Heather the Hut off the road, on the footpaths, obviously. So we
Come on. Get through there.
pass through a gate. Here you go, you've got another sign. All that says is footpath back the way you came, footpath forward, footpath right. So we're going to follow the signpost for the footpath.
On the smallest scales, like that.
Oh yeah,
For
yeah.
Your fence.
For the fence, yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I think of, I'm thinking as well. Like put that in front of the of the soil, and then a couple of stakes, and then just put it on.
Yeah, and then it'll be
Look
really
really
natural.
natural.
Yeah. Natural.
So here we're bearing left down farm track. Call it a track because you can get a vehicle down it. We're just about to come to a ford, but thankfully there's a bit of a boardwalk on the right hand side, so we can avoid getting our feet wet. Just look at this. This is a lovely property, really pretty. I'll just leave you a few moments with the sound of the birds and the running water.
Oh yeah.
Now we'll be doing written directions for the benefit of guests so that they can follow a step-by-step directions on how to get to the hut. So this is a bit of like a complement to that. This is, I suppose, a bit of an area where there's potential for guests to get lost. Basically, you're following that big white arrow there and the yellow footpath arrow, and also this signpost which says Orchard House. We're following it right, but it's not immediate right, so through this gravelled courtyard it's over here on this, see where this hedge is, just to the left of this hedge. So you continue straight for a short while and then you bear right at the hedge, and then you can see there's a 5-bar gate. And so, as Daisy is demonstrating, this is where we go through the gate and continue on our walk. Pausing for a moment to enjoy the view of the other side of the valley. There we go. Just shut the gate. It's important to follow the country code and shut each gate as you pass through it, without exception.
First rule of the country code?
Yeah, first rule of the country code. And now it's a bit more secluded. You're away from sort of people's property, although not forgetting that you are actually walking through people's land, so it's important to be courteous and respectful. Please don't drop any litter, please take anything home with you, just leave the route exactly as you found it. This bit can get a bit boggy. Whoops. So we passed through a gate that's actually open now. It says beware cows with cars, and we're just sort of headed over to the left here. I don't know if you could see that. Just to the left of that tree there's another wooden gate, so that's the direction we're headed to. And what we need to do is, instead of sort of going directly diagonally across, we just follow the edge of the field as it curls round. So we go up. Now there's no livestock in this field, so we've decided to let Lucas off the lead to enjoy a bit of freedom. Now just as you go over the brow of this hill, you'll spot a wooden signpost which says footpath left. So don't go through this metal gate, but bear left, again following the edge of the field, as Daisy's doing there, heading towards a metal gate in front of you, which was hidden just as we entered this field. This area does get quite boggy, and it never really dries out no matter what time of the year, so walkers are recommended to have either Wellingtons or proper walking boots to attempt this walk, with ankle protection if possible, waterproof, because if not, as you can see, the track is very boggy. You will get wet feet. So this is walking in the countryside at its very best. we go. So arrived at the gate. Thanks for that. We'll just pass through it. Now, I just want to explain about this, because if you're a walker on your own, you can bear right through wooden gate just a bit further up, as you can see there. But if you've got a dog, a particularly heavy dog like we have, it's just there's just a stile there on the through that gate on the right. So it's recommended that those with dogs, heavy dogs that don't want to go over like a stile or are reluctant to do so, what you could do is just follow the route of the field as it bears round to the left. Follow it on the other side of the wall. So this is where Daisy and I will part for a short while she takes Lucas up this left fork here in this direction, and I bear right through the wooden gate in this direction. I'll just wait for Lucas to join us. Lukey! Lukey! Come on! Lukey, come on! Good boy. Was that a rabbit?
It's a pheasant.
Oh, it's a pheasant. Oh.
Come on, Lukey. I think it was playing dead.
Yeah.
It tricked you. It tricked you. Come on.
As you can hear, pheasants are abound in these parts.
Lucas.
Come on, Lucas.
Come on.
The sky's a lovely blue colour. It's just a great day to be out in the North York Moors. Doing a bit of a video for Heather the Hut's YouTube channel for any guests that want to know how to get from the centre of the village of Rosedale Abbey up to Heather the Hut on foot. Walk approximately 45 minutes. So at this gate is where Daisy and I will part. She'll take Lucas off left up this grassy path because he's not keen on going over the stile that's at the other side of this fence, at the other side of this field. So Daisy will go over here to the left, take the dog through just a normal opening and shut gate, and I'll here go right through this wooden gate, and we'll meet over there just near that corner of that wooded bit, if you can see that. So this is where most guests, I imagine, would walk through. Here you go. I suppose we could swap over if you like.
Yeah, maybe because he doesn't like us separated.
He doesn't want. Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
No.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Come on.
Okay. Here we go. We'll swap over, Daisy.
Yeah, we'll swap.
Okay. So if you come over here, So if you go that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then just to where, if you see that signpost at the other side of the field, that wooden signpost,
Oh yes, I see.
and then you turn left. So can I give you this to carry and take with you?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Up we go.
See you shortly. Hello, Lucy. We're going this way. We're going this way.
Hey, look at that view. Oh. There he is. Oh, I don't know which way it's supposed to go. There he is. The happy hiker.
Thank you very much for doing that. So we've just come through that that metal gate there. Just brought him in, and then we're going to join together and follow the hillside up just to the right of that wooded.
See the deer at the top
wooded
there?
hill. Oh, was there a deer?
Yeah, it's just
Oh, I
it's
missed
just
it.
missed through the through the field very
Oh,
in the
that's
blink
fair.
of an eye.
Okay.
Look, there he is. You can see him now. His tail bobbing up and down at the end there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, he's just about to clear the fence and
Springing.
then bounce.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ah,
We'll see plenty of those. Are you happy to continue, or would you like to swap over?
there you go.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'll give you him back. I'll give you Lucas back. And so,
Oh. There's
yeah,
a stone there. Look.
we come from the corner of that field where there's wooden signposted footpath. There's a stone stood on its own, and so what we're going to do is basically pass the side of that stone So those without a particularly reluctant hound will have come from that way with their back to the other side of the valley. They turned left. We've got this stone which Daisy is kindly modelling, and and what we're going to do is now head straight up the side of the hill onto the moorland, the North York Moors, the famous scenery for which it is famous, keeping to the right of this wood. This is where I suppose the climb starts to get that tiny bit tougher as you're heading up the hill. So you have to have a sort of a reasonable level of fitness. Although it's not particularly steep, but it's sort of quite drawn out and constant uphill. But if we just stop one moment and just take a look at the view over the valley, you can see views of Rosedale are starting to open up. You've got the moors in the background, the route of the old railway line, which is hidden in the dip. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, particularly so on a lovely spring sunny day, Sunday like today. It really does make you feel glad to be alive. You breathe huge lungfuls of that fresh country air, and all of the cares and troubles, the busyness of modern life just melts away. The sound of the birdsong, I absolutely love it.
I don't think Lucas likes hills.
Sorry?
I don't think Lucas likes the hills.
Oh. No, Lukey's a bit reluctant, but he'll get there. For those of you who are interested, this direction is kind of towards the coast. So we're walking in the direction of the coast. If we were driving going in this direction, we would be following signs for Egton Bridge and ultimately Whitby. So when we get to this wooden gate, we'll pass through it and then just sort of fork off right that way. It looks like the path forks off to the left of this tree, but it doesn't. So we're not heading now towards the forest, which we've just been looking at. We're heading off right towards the field boundary. So we go through the gate and bear right. Once you're through the gate, you can see the obvious path here going up the hill. This is about the time you have to start shedding layers because
A bit of a sweat on.
you get a bit of a sweat on. No matter spring, summer, autumn, winter, you do certainly do warm up as the terrain starts to incline. The good thing I like about this walk is once you know it, it is actually really quite easy and signposted and visible as well. So, oh, we've got a deer there, just sort of camouflaged. See if we can get a bit closer. Oh no, he's just bounced away over the dry stone wall again. It's quite the day for deers, really. The terrain underfoot as well now is muddy, slippery, wet, boggy. But this does dry out during the summertime. If you see, depending on when you're coming, but it does dry out. So it's pointing towards the deer. That's about maximum zoom. So, oh yeah, just started to move the deer. You can see him. He's gonna have a bounce away. Wildlife abound. You really can't get more authentic than this. The quintessential British countryside at its best. How are you feeling, baby?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you.
Good.
Beautiful sunshine. Oh. Not too hot.
If, like us, you've enjoyed a bacon sandwich earlier on in the day, perhaps you've been down to the Abbey tea rooms or Grays on the Green for your bacon sandwich on a Sunday morning and you're walking back to the hut, you might be a little thirsty after this exertion.
We'll have some water at the top of the hill.
Yeah, thanks to Daisy. I haven't been that organised, but I think Daisy's brought some water, thankfully, and just have a slug of that at the bench that's coming up. And of all the benches in all the world, I think this is possibly the best placed one because, as you'll see, once you get there, it's just absolutely stunning, the view. I'm so glad it's clear and bright. I attempted this video a couple of times before, but haven't really had the right weather conditions or even battery life. So, third time lucky, and I think we have been pretty lucky actually. It's glorious. So we've been following the field boundary, the dry stone wall to the left of it, uphill, following the path, the obvious path, and then we'll come to a wooden gate, and after the wooden gate we'll don't go straight ahead, but bear right. So
we're at the top now.
we're almost at the top, yeah, almost at the top.
Nearly, actually.
And as you can see, we're heading towards that forest which I told you about earlier, where you're just beyond which Heather's situated. So yeah, we've passed through the gate, bear right. Depending on the time of year, the path isn't so clear, but you can see actually the moorland has been cut shorter along the path that you walk up. So it's pretty obvious, I'd say. Would you say it's pretty obvious, baby?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's always been put into a track, isn't it?
it's been cut, yeah. So you can sort of see where you need to be.
Oh. Couldn't ask for a better day.
No, you couldn't. We're sort of heading southish now. Other side of the valley. I like to call that countryside porn because it's absolutely stunning. So we're now on the east side of the valley, heading sort of southish. The valley was cut by a river called the River Severn. Not Seven with an R, but Seven as in the number 7, S-E-V-E-N. Little river flows through the moors, and that's what has helped to create this landscape, this valley. Looks like Daisy's found the best placed bench in the world. Exactly well location, well positioned for a brief stop on the walk up to Heather the Hut. I would say you're probably about 2/3 of the way now, so you might just want to have a sit down, take a bit of a rest, a bit of contemplation, and just I'll give a bit of water to Lucas the dog because they'll be no doubt thirsty. As with most things in life, the reward is worth the effort. So if you can just put up with a bit of an uphill climb, then you're just rewarded with these just fantastic views. I'll see if I can zoom in on Chimney Bank. That's about as far as I can go. So yeah, you can see that's a road there, and that winds up the hillside, heading over the moors to a small village called Huttonley Hole, which is also a pretty moorland village which gets busy in the summertime. You can go there for tea, coffee, ice cream, and here over this way is in the direction of no thank you, in the direction of Teesside. That's the north of the Rosedale. In that direction, well, maybe perhaps you can't see it, but just glistening on the horizon there are the roofs of the cars that are visiting the Lion Inn in Blakey Ridge, one of the most remote pubs in the whole of Britain. When it snows, this area does get, with its altitude, gets an absolute covering of snow, and often that particular pub can be cut off for days. The lucky patrons who visited can have a lock-in and they can't really do much about it until the snow goes. So thankfully in this current climate, the snow really doesn't tend to last for too long. It's not like they're snowed in for a week. It may just be a matter of a couple of days, and then they can get that road cleared. The road that stretches from Castleton to junction of the A170, where you turn left for Pickering, right for Kirby Moorside. Pickering is down over this direction, south of Rosedale. I'm going to stand up now and just give you a bit of a view, a panorama, a full 360. I tell you what, Daisy, now once you stop, you soon cool down, because as you can see, this is quite exposed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is exposed countryside, so you get the wind. It cools you down. It's beautiful. In the cooler weather, bring a hat, a scarf and some gloves, because it might be sunny and warm down there in the valley. Once you get up here, it can get very chilly. Are we ready to press on, my love?
We are.
Oh, good.
We'll just wrap this.
Good, good. Just maybe add another layer. The layer that you just took off because you were so hot when you came up the hill, and now, as soon as I say, as soon as you sit still, temperature drops. You have to put your layer back on.
Yeah. That's
So
what sweating does, though, isn't it? Cools you down.
it does. Yeah, sweating cools you down. So this is the direction we're heading in now. I'll just stand back, try not to trip over. This is a wooden bench that you have just passed. It says, what does it say on it? In memory
Of Peter
of
Peter
Rowlands, 1915 to 1992. Rest in peace, Peter Rowlands. I'm not sure who you are, but him, like many others, have enjoyed this view, and hopefully will continue to do so for a long time. So keeping the bench on your left, there's a small cairn, stack of stones. Keep them on your left too. Press on up the hillside. You'll notice that it's not quite as steep as it was, so it's starting to flatten out now, thankfully. So once you've had your sit down, your drink at the bench, you start pressing on, and it's not quite so tough going. Okay, on here on the right hand side, you've got field boundary, dry stone wall. Just beyond it, the forest, which Heather the hut backs onto. That forest, you may remember from early on in the video, is the one that you were heading towards. I'm not really sure that if it's got a name, it may even belong to or be part of Cropton Forest. Cropton being the name of a small village which is just about 5 miles from Rosedale. And then just as you get to the brow of the hill, you'll just stop whilst Daisy puts Lukey on his lead.
Come into the road.
You come to a road. And just beyond it are the dry stone wall. So this road is quite a good marker point, really. especially in foggy weather, because you know once you got to here, you're pretty much on the last leg to the hut, because this last part of the walk is following this road down to the right, so over this cattle grid and right, and it is all road walking from now on. But unlike the road which we just came from down in the valley, this is virtually traffic free. There really isn't a lot of traffic on this road, so the only interruptions you'll get are the tweeting of the birds and the rustling of the trees. Just want to point out, although we're not going left, we're going right. If you're coming from Rosedale and you want, if you're coming from the Heather the Hut and you want to go to Rosedale, this is the road you'd come down. So we'll just do a brief detour really to explain to guests. What you do is you travel this road and you think, where the heck am I going? Into the distance, into the middle of the moorland. But just at the end of this road, I would say maybe a mile, perhaps even less, there's a T-junction and signposted left for Rosedale Abbey, right for Egton Bridge. You take the turn left and drop down the road into the valley, pretty much parallel to the path that you've just walked up. I'll just show you this if you're interested. This is called Hartoft Rig. So there's an information board on the corner where the path meets the road, just giving you the visitor a bit of a description about where they are. Nice gentle reminder to follow the Moor's message, which is to tread gently, avoid building any fires as they can devastate the moorland, and also just to keep safe because the weather conditions can change quickly. So here we are, we've arrived at the road. This road is called Hancow Road, Hancow, and it is a designated road. In fact, it appears on the GPS system, so it does appear on sat navs, it's on Google Maps. And so when guests arrive, I always give them the directions of how to get to Heather the Hut. And in fact, she doesn't really have an address, so to speak, but I do mention that she is just on the corner of Hancow Road and the entrance to Allotment Farm. Now is the nice easy bit, nice and flat, quiet, gentle road walking, heading south. This is all carefully managed forestry land belonging to Cropton Forest. You can't really see it, I don't think, but those of you who are familiar with the area, over that direction is RAF Fylingdales. That's the early warning system. So that really is a visible part of the landscape, a really distinctive part of the landscape. Those of you who are fans of the North York Moors Railway, or North Yorkshire Moors Railway, I should say, to give it its proper title, may be aware that over that way is the route of the line. Thank you for picking that litter up, baby. The route of the line which takes you from Pickering all the way up to Whitby on the coast. It's an absolutely smashing journey, one that I would heartily recommend. In fact, I was talking to someone about it yesterday, and they said you can travel from Pickering to Whitby on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway in the same time it takes you to get from York to London on the train. So it's that kind of journey, really. A slow meander through the North York Moors. Here we've got some traffic, so we're just gonna keep in, and seems like our friend Lucas is quite reluctant to follow us, so we may have to give him some gentle coaxing, give him a wave, and on we go. Is Lucas a bit reluctant, Daisy?
Yeah, for some reason he doesn't want to walk down the road.
Okay, well, let's see if we can, if I can coax him. We'll swap over if you like.
All right, come on.
No, he's very reluctant to come down Hancow Road. Yeah, so
He wants to go that way.
yeah, he wants to go to the opposite way. We'll have to take him down with us. Just to give you the what 3 words of Heather the Hut, and that is connector, CONNECTOR dot bravest dot chatting. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in finding out where, or even if, Heather the Hut exists after this mega long walk, type in that to the What 3 Words app, and that will give you the exact location of Heather the Hut. I think I'm going to swap over with Daisy now and take Lucas, because he's being quite obstinate and he's not following us on the direction that we want to go, and we've got a hut to get to.
He's just thirsty, that's all.
Oh well.
Some water. And
Oh, he's just having a drink. It's all right. I think we're safe.
You're not going that way.
He's is he coming? Is he? Yeah, he is. Eventually, he's taking a bit of coaxing, a bit of persuading, but he's coming with us.
He's spotted something and he wants to go over. You are.
So, yeah, word on dogs: small, well-behaved dogs are welcome.
Just like this one.
Perhaps not so much like this one, who's more of a horse than a dog. Yeah, as I said before, we just want people to be mindful and respectful of the countryside, of the farmers who live and work here, to keep their dogs on a lead, where managed, controlled, and just have respect, courtesy for everyone. We're all here to enjoy this lovely scenery. So that's why I say small, and well-behaved dogs are welcome. A bit like Teddy, who came recently, the Chihuahua. This particular stretch of the walk, it's the last bit, as Daisy's demonstrating. It's not that interesting in terms of actual walking on the ground, but it is nice to be on the flat, parallel, albeit further up the valley side, to the road to Pickering, which you left at the start of the road. If you remember, we did a short stretch from the village centre past the coach house in along the road. Well, that road is down there on your right and parallel to Hancow Road here. But as I say, not particularly busy and quiet. You've got the sounds of the forest, and a bit of a shade from the sunshine. Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Easy? Yeah, okay, cool.
He's 5. Get used to it, won't you? Anyway, because it's our adventure next week.
So, there's not really much more to say on this particular stretch, so I'll just be quiet and let you enjoy. Of course, Daisy, if you want to have a bit of a chat and conversation, you're very welcome to. No, I mean just with between you and I.
Right, okay.
Because I've got.
There is that stone that we walked past.
Yeah.
Is
Which
that
one?
One of the stones. You know, you have that walk that goes from ancient stones to
Oh.
stone, and you have to walk. You walk to each one. I'm wondering whether that's one of them.
Was that the
one in as we started?
just before the bench?
Yes.
I don't think so. No.
No.
I don't think it's not part of any long distance route that I'm aware of. There's quite a few long distance routes that crisscross the North York Moors, not far from here, from Rosedale, from Heather the Hut. We've got the Like Wake Walk, we've got the Inn Way, we've got the Coast to Coast Walk, and the Cleveland Way as well. The ones that I can think of. So
Tabular Hills?
we've got the Tabular Hills, yeah,
Tabular
thanks very much. Yeah, it's got the
And
Tabular
Walking
Hills
Hills.
as well. So you can really see that this is absolute walker's paradise. There's so many routes, so much to see, so much wildlife.
Different terrain as well, isn't there? You've got woodland, moorland, then you go to the coast, rolling hills, just nice variety.
Yeah. Can we see if we can have a go at naming any of the birds there?
Okay.
I know, I spotted a chaffinch. We've seen a pheasant.
We haven't. It was pretending to be dead, but it wasn't. It's fine.
Okay. What
So
else?
pigeon.
Pigeon? What else exists in this forest? Grouse.
Yeah.
Grouse.
Grouse, yeah. Sometimes there's some birds of prey you can see around. Sometimes you see a
Sparrowhawk.
sparrowhawk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a buzzard.
Buzzards. Yeah. Looks like
Kestrel. as
some
well.
traffic up ahead, so we'll just have to keep in.
Kestrel.
I once spotted a lady on this road. I think she was just foraging for berries. I don't know if I told you.
Yes, you did, yeah.
She was foraging for berries, and because it's so quiet, didn't expect anyone else to be here. I was walking to the hut, and she didn't see me. And I said, "Afternoon," and she nearly jumped out of her skin. She said, "Oh, hello there. I didn't expect to see anyone. I didn't expect to see anyone here." I said, "No, it's quiet, isn't it? It's quiet, remote, secluded." And she said, "Yeah, I'm just harvesting some. I think they were blackberries or blueberries or something, and or brambles." And I said, "Oh, well, it's a lovely day for it." I think that was in the springtime as well. So, very much back to nature.
I'm nearly there. Look at that mud. Lovely.
Here we go.
Ways.
Public bridle way. So you may well bump into horse riders, cyclists. That's down through the forest, down onto the Pickering Road that we left through the forest. Yeah, there are actually a couple of different paths, bridleways, etc., that you can do, that you can take to get down into the village. But in my opinion, this is the best way. I maybe said earlier that this is the way that seems to avoid the most, yeah, to avoid the most traffic. Over here, been doing a lot of logging work. It's forestry controlled land. I think forestry are a government agency, so they have to make sure that the land is properly controlled to benefit the regeneration of the wildlife and the trees, and so otherwise it might go a bit haywire. So it's very pretty but carefully controlled.
It is managed very well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. If we look straight down the road here on the horizon, that's looking towards the Yorkshire Wolds. Another
Rosedale walk as well there.
Beautiful, yeah, area of Yorkshire. Not quite as, I don't know, harsh as the North York Moors, more rolling, kind of chalky hill, but still very pretty. And yeah, as Daisy says, another long distance path there called the Wolds Way, which joins up to the Cleveland Way in Filey. So the Cleveland Way starts in Helmsley and it skirts the top of the North York Moors, where it reaches or meets Teesside, curls round, joins the sea at I believe it's Saltburn, and then drops down across the rugged North Yorkshire coastline down to Filey. And then if, like me, you want to continue the adventure, pick it up from Filey, walk through the Yorkshire Wolds, rolling farmland, and eventually you end up on the banks of the River Humber in a place called Hessle, Hessle. That's 2 weeks of smashing walking, very varied scenery, just a lovely way to spend a couple of weeks off work and enjoying the scenery, which is very varied. So yeah, that's in that direction. This is the view, the same direction of the view that you get from Heather the Hut as well. So you're looking in that direction. Yeah. Again, it's a bit higher now. We're
a bit chilly.
The temperature's dropped slightly. You'll notice there aren't not many in the way of street lights, so this does get pitch black. The North York Moors is one of the designated dark skies area for the UK. So what that means is that there's very little in the way of artificial light. So when it gets dark, it gets really dark. The benefit being, of course, is that you can look up and see the skies, see absolutely wonderful array, constellation of stars on a clear night. But if you're walking, you may be walking this in the dark, So recommend to all guests, bring a torch and welly boots as well. Yeah, something decent, decent footwear for walking, because as we've seen so far today, terrain can be quite different, dry, boggy, where we're coming up to heather now. Just where the forest kind of finishes on where this van is now. The forest on the right hand side, where it finishes, is where we turn right to heather. Good walk so far, isn't it?
Yeah,
Good walk.
it is a good walk.
Lovely walk. Through the trees, you can see the moorland there. Sunlight dappling through the tree trunks. So quiet.
Ready for a nice coffee.
Say that again, sorry.
A nice coffee.
A nice coffee. Well,
Cup of tea from
yeah.
Heather the Hut.
Yeah. Well, when we get there, we'll put the kettle on the gas hob, boil the kettle, and have ourselves a nice cup of tea or coffee from the stores that are in Heather. So all guests' tea and coffee making facilities are available at Heather the Hut. It's just what you need after a lovely walk. We've been going for about an hour and 20, but
We've taken it slow.
we've taken it slow, and it's that's what it's all about, really. It's about slowing down. Just take it at your own pace. Enjoy it.
But you could take, you know, if you do that walk, and you could take a picnic,
Yeah,
and you could really make a day of it, actually, couldn't you?
yeah, you could.
You could
Yeah,
walk to the village and then walk back up again.
yeah. I mean, some guests they'll want to stay here, but they won't want to walk all the time, or they won't want to do big walks. I mean, yeah. As we said before, if you go down to the village to get your bacon sandwich, and then walk back, take a bit of a picnic, stop at that bench, and sit down, flask of coffee. Okay, so here you can see that the woodland has stopped or finished. Here on the right, there's a driveway, and that driveway heads down to a farm called Allotment Farm. This is where we bear right. If we just point through the trees, I don't know if you can see it because the sunlight's blinding us, but there's Heather. So we've come along Hancow Road, and now we're going to bear off right, where that heading towards the gate there, and here can't see it so well, but here on this stone is a signpost, allotment farm. So we don't go right directly down the farm track. We just bear right, head towards this gate and the dry stone wall. This is where it's quite boggy as well, so another reason for boots. You can see it's opened up now, and that's the valley down, the view down the valley. So we'll get to this wall, bear right. Oh, yeah. Following the sign. It's a bit dark, you can't see it, but there's a signpost there that says Heather. Wait whilst Lucas has a bit of a sniff. Keep the wall to your left. This is a path, so this is what I was telling you about earlier as one of the various bridle ways / pathways. This is a bridle way, and where Daisy's going, you can follow it down there, and yeah, it does take you down the valley side, but it brings you onto that main road a lot earlier, if you will. So if you turned right at the road, yeah, you would come back eventually into Rosedale Abbey, but you do a lot more road walking. And to be honest, I prefer to be on Hancow Road where it's a bit quieter. So here we are. Here we are at Heather, our destination. We'll hop over the fence, make sure she's all right, and not. I'll have to put a bit more food in the out for the birds, but pleased to see she's all well and good, and it's been a great walk, lovely walk in the sunshine through various different terrain, and yeah, so that's where I'm going to end it. Thanks very much. The end of the walk from Rosedale Abbey to Heather the Hut.